Hi there guys on YouTube. Today I'm just going to do a review on the X-Men films that were released by 20th Century Fox. And the reason why the 20th Century Fox had them was because Marvel, when they went into decline after the films that they'd released were flops, they had to sell a lot of their assets, and the X-Men were one of the assets that they sold. But before I go into these films, I'd just like to say thank you for the subscribers I have, for the views that I've had on my videos. It's very much appreciated, and the comments and likes as well. Quick heads up, I'm doing 2 videos hopefully within the next couple of weeks. One of them is going to be about Hungary, about the country and what I saw while I was there. I'm hoping to do that possibly within the next week, and then at some point also I've got some friends who are going to be trying some Hungarian snacks which I've bought back, to see their reaction, whether they like them and stuff. So if you want to see that, you're looking forward to seeing that, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to let you to get notifications when those videos come out. And now we'll start on the video. The X-Men franchise was the first franchise and first load of films about superheroes that I saw. I was never really into Batman, Superman and stuff like that, so I never really watched them. I never was really into those sort of films, but these ones I seriously was. So obviously the first one on the list was just simply X-Men, and this is the first time we actually saw, in my opinion, some proper good mutants in film. And you've got Hugh Jackman, which is obviously the most famous, playing his role as Wolverine, and this was when he sort of made that character his. With the people that they hired to make the do the characters, getting Patrick Stewart to do Professor X, and McKinnon to do Magneto. It just works really well. They both played their roles very well, and I actually really enjoyed it. I was kind of relieved that they didn't go cheesy with it, and they didn't make the suits exactly like it is in the anime, because I think that would have made it really cheesy, and it would have made it not as good as it actually ended up being. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I thought that it was a really good film. Okay, and we go to X-Men 2, and the second one was better than the first, in my opinion. I really enjoyed this film. You've got all the characters a bit more now pronounced, and you sort of know what they're like and stuff like that. And there's a bit more emphasis on not a mutant trying to start a war, but a human trying to start a war. And I think that makes it more relatable, because obviously it's not about it's how other people and other races would see us as a human race. So I think that's a really good film, and I really enjoyed this one. I actually went to the cinema to see this, and I actually really enjoyed it. Now this becomes a problem, because you got this X-Men Last Stand. Now there were some really good characters in this that I was looking forward to seeing, like the Juggernaut, Colossus a bit more, and Pyro and stuff like that, seeing exactly what they're about. And I must admit, I was very disappointed, to be honest. I did not think that the Juggernaut was portrayed very well. I don't think that the story itself was very good, and yeah, I just did not really enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the others. You need to sort of watch it though to actually, because obviously it's a trilogy, so you have to sort of watch it. But I didn't think that this one, with how good the other two were, was as good as the other two. Then they went through a little bit of a revamp, and they decided to show the origins of the X-Men. or like some ones are from the past. So they made this X-Men First Class, and they did a complete people. They basically changed the entire cast. They hired 2 new people to play Professor X and Magneto, and God Almighty, they did really well. The people that play them now are absolutely brilliant, and anybody that like watches this and has watched both of these actors since they did this film will know that these 2 are really good actors. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed seeing how their friendship was, and how Charles like helped Magneto become as strong as he ends up being in the later films. Okay, X-Men, the second version, number 2, Days of Future Past. Now this is probably the best X-Men film ever made, in my opinion. It just got so much going right for it. It's like, it's got everything you could possibly want, including a very, very bad Charles Xavier, who is like really depressed and not very happy with himself. So that's really good. And and you've also got Hugh Jackman back in it as Wolverine, which you didn't have in First Class. And it's like related around him a little bit more than possibly Jennifer Lawrence, who plays Mystique. And I really enjoyed this film. If I'm to watch an X-Men film, this is the one I usually go to. So yeah. Unfortunately now they are starting to go downhill. Apocalypse. Now when I first heard that this film was going to be released and we were going to finally see Apocalypse, in the cartoons he was epic, amazing, wonderful. I absolutely loved him. In the film, not so much. He was pretty bad, pretty badly portrayed, and he just wasn't. I mean, at the back here it says against an unstoppable enemy, and he just never came across as powerful and intimidating in any way. And it's just like, ugh. Like I said, I mean, to be honest, the like certain things in it are really good. Like you get to see Storm, finally realise who Storm is. You get to see her like sort of come through, and you get to see what happens to people when they are depressed and they go through a bad time, with what happens to Magneto, which is really good. But this film is absolutely garbage. I'm sorry if anybody who really likes it. I didn't enjoy it. There were some decent scenes in it, but as a whole it was a really bad, unfortunately terrible film. Now this one, Dark Phoenix, the one that's really just come out recently, I didn't actually go and see this in the cinema because I was too involved in what else Marvel were doing. Now I've seen it a couple of times, and I actually think it's a better film than some people portray it as. Some people just hate this film and just think it's the biggest piece of trash ever. I think it's got some good parts in it, but I think that it should have been a 2-part film, personally, to get everything in that needed to be explained, and it wasn't. It was tried to be put into a 1 film, and that means that it just wasn't. It was just like not done as good as it could have been. A lot of people said that it was basically the reason why is because the people that own it, Fox, gave up, because obviously they've now been sold to Disney, who now own Marvel anyway, and stuff like that. So I can understand where they're coming from with that, but the film itself is quite bad, not brilliant. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed. I think it would have been slightly better if it was a 2-parter film, a bit like what they did with Avengers, but it just wasn't as good as it could have been. There's so much potential there. The Phoenix was, I don't know, there's just something about the Phoenix I wasn't enthralled about. So okay, thank you for listening to my opinions on these DVDs, on these X-Men DVDs. Like I said earlier, I do have 2 new videos coming out hopefully in the next few weeks. If you do like this video, please put a like on it. Please comment in the description what you think about the films. Which one of the films is your favourite? Which film do you prefer? And yeah, so if you like this video, please subscribe.